I am the Oghwuvwie-rode of the Okere-Urhobo Kingdom. I am presently representing the head of the Olodi family, whose seat you can see is empty here. He is presently indisposed. This is an emergency call and he couldn't cope with the emergency. So we allowed him to relax. If you look here, we have a lineup of elders of Olodi, chiefs and elders of Olodi. I am sure after probably I must have addressed, some of them will also grant you interview. The executives of the Olodi youth. Incidentally, there was an order yesterday from the chairman of the local government that all youth organizations have been disbanded. One of the purposes of this meeting is to appreciate the local government council chairman and his security personnel, because if not for that proclamation of yesterday, we were leading into a serious crisis. A serious crisis that the state government will not like. And so we have called to show our appreciation and also to let the world know what is happening in one of the 24 kingdoms of Urhobo land, the Okere-Urhobo Kingdom. For some time now, we have been battling with an issue. In this kingdom, we have a very strong constitution that governs us. We also have an instrument that governs the youths and the monarchical institution of Okere-Urhobo Kingdom. There are some aspects of the constitution of the youths and the monarchy that cannot be changed unless we have gone through the normal due process. An attempt started some few months back to flout and disregard the Constitution. We have been holding a series of meetings, even with the monarch, to resolve these issues, which the senior partner of the families in this kingdom is objecting to. We have been objecting to such changes without going through due process, that it will lead to breakdown of peace and order. It will lead to anarchy. It will lead to the disruption of peace in the local government area, particularly our kingdom. To avert it, we have complained to security agencies. We have written petitions upon petitions. And this thing seems to be going on a daily basis. And that is why we felt, let us cry out, let us complain, let us tell the world, because this place is very key to the peace of Warri. Very, very key. If anything goes wrong here and our neighbor's area, it affects the whole town. What is the problem, therefore? The youth constitution was tampered with, amended without carrying the youths along. In the original constitution, we have an administrative policy principle that says election into youth offices will be by election, general election, universal suffrage, where all our youth will be able to determine who leads them. We did not insert into the Constitution that families will bring people without election. We did not insert into the Constitution that presidency and offices of the youth executive will be on rotation. We based it on suitability. That is, the most suitable person wins the election. And that is how we have been doing it. For some political reasons, the Oroswe amended the youth constitution. And we complained. Even if you want to amend constitution HROM, why not allow the Oroswe in council, that is the congregation of all the chiefs, to ratify it before you endorse? And he told us, he has said it, his word must be ordered. He cannot retreat, he cannot surrender. So we have been into this crisis, this impasse, for some time. Our constitution does not allow anybody, because of our uniqueness, we are an Urhobo nation, Urhobo Kingdom, and there are certain things our leaders must reflect, must represent. That is not done. So yesterday, based on all the security reports that have been going to the council dissolved the Okere-Urhobo youth, the Olodi youth. The Olodi youth is a reaction for not carrying them along for all the amendments that took place. And on many occasions, they have been attacked, including where we are sitting now. They have come in here and attacked the Olodi youth, carry some of them to the youth secretariat, beat them up. We are a law-abiding family. We are a law-abiding community. All these things that have been happening, we reported and incidented the cases at the police station, both at the B division and area command. We have also held a meeting, series of meetings with the police, and we have also informed the military, army, of what is going on here. At the stage we are now, we are still talking to ensure that the Olodi youths do not retaliate. Because if we retaliate, then we will run into problems. So this is part of a way of saying that this issue is resolved. We are calling on the press. We are calling on government. We are calling on politicians to know that there's an impending crisis that is building up. It's like we are sitting on the keg of a gunpowder. And if we are calling most importantly on royal fathers, personalities in this environment, to come to see that these issues are resolved. Particularly because of the old men. Look at old women. When they start fighting, it will affect them. It will make them panic, might drop in. If we still have time, in the mark with a position, we keep your phones. I will send it to your WhatsApp phones so that you will read our proposition. What can I do? Of the Olodi family with regards to the pending crisis emanating from the introduction of a rotational office holding in the kingdom leadership as against constitutional and traditional selection of suitability. The recent selection process to constitute the Okere youth government appears ill-advised and not in line with the constitutional procedure, precedents, and traditional provision. We observed a purported amendment of the Constitution without due process and ratification of the people. The new premise of introducing rotational office holding into our Constitution negates a fundamental principle of the kingdom law that states that anyone who will hold office in the kingdom must be capable, suitable, and never based on rotation. For very obvious reasons, like practiced in Nigeria, Delta State, and Warri South local government. This has been the position in the past over 60 years, a guiding accepted principle that has been in use all these years, based on the rules that are never discussed in the open. The leadership of the various offices composition in this past 60 years is evident. Our late Daniel Okumagba was secretary of the family for over 40 years. All the kings that have ruled so far are all from the Olodi branch. There was even a time that the king and the Otor-Orere were all from Olodi. It was not forced on other families. There must be a reason bearers were not ignorant. The foresight of our ancestors or founding fathers of this understanding cannot be overemphasized. This is also evident in the composition of the original land ownership before the amalgamation into a layout scheme. The silence in the use of rotation of offices in Nigeria Delta State, Warri local government are clear references, points to the rationale for not documenting rotational offices in the Constitution. Traditional institutions are also not wired to rely on rotation, as the gods or ancestors consider the person not from the segments they belong to when choosing leaders. Shows lack of such consideration, as there are current chiefs occupying positions they are not entitled to hold. The king today is from Oghwuvwie-rode. Otor is from Makro. The Olotu is from Oghwuvwie-rode. Our precedent clearly shows rotation has never been part of our history. We are therefore of the opinion that a total proper reconsideration of the action taken on the above issue be reviewed and amended. A lot has happened in this short time that could lead to a breakdown of peace and order if not addressed. A delegation of the Olodi Chiefs met with the Orosman HRM, Morris Ochiko, Eboh on more than 2 occasions, and we presented these propositions, but he refused our appeal. Meanwhile, the resolution of the Olodi position in a crucial meeting held and headed by the head of the Olodi family are as follows. Olodi family youths must refrain from any act of violence or retaliation of the attack on them pending the resolution of the crisis, so as not to breach peace in the kingdom. Pending the resolution of the constitution and traditionally known precedents in the composition of offices in the kingdom now being breached, all Olodi Chiefs, I repeat, all Olodi Chiefs and descendants are to cease from participating in all kingdom activities forthwith. We should be allowed to constitute the Olodi Youth Development Government as already constituted by the Oghwuvwie-rode and Oki youths. The purpose of this press conference is for peace. We come in peace. We will reject violence and fight as has been carried out so far in this kingdom. Members of the press, I thank you, and I believe you will help us to reach the world with these messages. Thank you, and God bless you.